Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Patrice Evra, who's a former Manchester United player, recently did a 20-minute video and spoken about the problems at Manchester United. He has launched a stunning attack on Woodward and the Glazers. And he says the club's being damaged by arrogant people who do not even respect Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson deserves a hell of a lot of respect, for what he did when he was at Manchester United. Obviously, Ferguson enjoyed a good 26, 27 years at Manchester United and won a total of 38 major honours. But Ferguson obviously, didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. But like I said, it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United or any manager in general to replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. And he says that we are in danger of blowing our legacy away. And he says that there's directors that have told him that Matt Judge does not even pick up his phone. And Patrice Evra's obviously give the reasons why Manchester United, are struggling to bring players in is because we're getting in touch with the wrong people. So this is what, Patrice Evra has had to say. This was obviously as well reflecting on our 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace recently. And actually, that 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace was our worst defeat on the opening day of the Premier League season since like 1995. And it was the second season in a row at Old Trafford in the league that we had lost to Crystal Palace. And everyone was also saying that Solskjaer is protecting his players too much. But we've been very, very critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years anyway, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. The managers that we've had since the Alex Ferguson era haven't been backed enough. And we've also overpaid for players. And Solskjaer himself recently revealed that he was very, very infuriated with the board because we have endured a very, very bad summer transfer window because we have only made one signing at the moment, and that was Donny van de Beek from Ajax. But Solskjaer did say he wants to make like 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek. And we've also had some off-field issues. Don't forget we had that incident with Harry Maguire last month when he was arrested in Greece, and he had that court case in Greece. We've had a few issues with Mason Greenwood recently. Don't forget he got withdrawn from the England squad. So too did Phil Foden for taking girls back to the team hotel. There was also another incident involving him inhaling laughing gas. And Solskjaer recently said he was furious with the FA and Gareth Southgate for the handling of Mason Greenwood. And says, that he should have been arrested. I think Solskjaer's held negotiations with Mason Greenwood regarding his private life. And don't forget, Manchester United recently gave him the number 11. He's the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11. Rashford's just recovered from an ankle injury. Brandon Williams had an injury as well at one point. And we're missing out on a lot of our targets in this summer transfer window, We just recently missed out on Sergio Reguilon from Tottenham. We missed out on Sergio Reguilon because Tottenham got him in. We missed out on Gareth Bale. He went back to Tottenham. We missed out on Jack Grealish because he recently signed a 5-year deal with Aston Villa. We missed out on Erling Haaland in January, and like I said, it was a shame because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. So we are missing out on a lot of our targets. Another one of my element of concerns is that these teams around us that are doing very, very good recruitment. By far, Chelsea have done the best business so far. They've brought the likes of Ziyech in, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Milan Sarr, Thiago Silva, Mendy, Ben Chilwell. Chelsea obviously try to get Declan Rice. They obviously need a goalkeeper to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. That's Chelsea's priority, to get a goalkeeper. Liverpool, they've made 3 signings. They brought Thiago and Diego Jota and Tsikmas. City, they've brought Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres in. Tottenham, they've also made some good signings. They've brought Reguilon in, Bale, Holberg, Joe Hart, Doherty, Kyle Walker-Peters. Everton, they've also made some good signings. James Rodriguez has been a very, very good signing for them so far. Leeds, they've even made some good signings. Arsenal, they've brought Gabriel Magalhaes in and Willian. So yeah, that's definitely another one of my element of concerns. But like I said to you on a few of my other videos that I've recently done, Solskjaer to blame partly for our inconsistency, and Solskjaer's decision making has definitely got to improve. But from my own perception, I don't think he's getting backed enough. I really, really don't. And I think he does deserve more backing. Solskjaer did publicly admit that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool, and now perhaps Chelsea. And like I've said to you before, Solskjaer is in a similar situation to what Jose Mourinho was in, because Jose Mourinho made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted to get a centre-half in. Obviously never got that centre-half in. Mourinho did endure 2.5 years at the football club. Obviously did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season, and got a second in his first season, the highest we've finished since Ferguson's retirement. And obviously Mourinho did recommend 11 players into the club, but the main explanations he got sacked is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with our top players, and like I said, the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. And I think anyway, we appointed Jose Mourinho in too late. There was a lot of United fans saying that we should have actually appointed him in after Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. I think he's spent around £240 million at the football club so far. Obviously, he's brought like 6 senior players in. Last summer, brought Daniel James, Anwan Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in, and obviously brought Donny van der Beek in this summer transfer window. And he's also brought a few academy players into the football club. Now, maybe there is some Manchester United fans that are criticising Solskjaer, because in a lot of games for Manchester United, he has been very tactically naive. I don't really have a perception on Solskjaer at the moment. We've got to delve a bit more into the season, to see how things go for me to have a perception on Solskjaer. Now, obviously, at the first part of last season, I was very, very critical of Solskjaer, obviously, and so too a lot of Manchester United fans, because we obviously enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that point, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club. But then all of a sudden, Manchester United turned things around. Was it at like the second part of last season? Don't forget, went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League until Palace recently beat us. We went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final. So then obviously, the pressure eased off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But obviously, I said this season is big for Solskjaer and Manchester United, because obviously this season is Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And I said obviously he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain Manchester United manager. Now, I did say for Manchester United to challenge for the title this season, we do need to make at least a couple of more signings. We haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. And, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been for the last 7 years. I think we are at least 3 to 4 years off winning the Premier League title. There's definitely Manchester United fans that don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is good enough to win the Premier League with Manchester United because he hasn't got that proven pedigree, really, has he? He's got that manager He's got that manager experience behind him now. Reflecting how long he's been at Man United. Solskjaer's obviously been at the football club now nearly 2 years. But, Man United is the third club in his managerial career. There's only 2 weeks left now of this summer transfer window. And Manchester United don't need to focus on the incomings. We've also got to focus on the outgoings as well. Because at the moment, we are struggling to offload our fringe players. And I said it's very imperative that we sell players in this summer transfer window. Because obviously we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. And plus, quite frankly, he's still deadwood at the football club. Lingard, he's one of the players that Manchester United looking to get rid of. I give you the news on Lingard recently, and it says that, Tottenham are in advanced talks to sign Jesse Lingard. Rob Dawson did say, I think from ESPN, that Jose Mourinho is keen on a reunion with the player. And Tottenham are preparing to put around the £30 million bidding for him. But he may only go to Tottenham if Tottenham can sell Dele Alli. I heard that PSG are in for Dele Alli. I think Solskjaer said he wants Lingard to stay at the club. Lingard's obviously been part of the club for several years. He's been at Manchester United since 2000. And he's been in our senior squad since 2011. So in total, he's been at the club 2 decades as Lingard. He's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. There was a period where Lingard didn't score 1 goal or register 1 assist in the Premier League for over a year. Don't forget, Lingard did have loan spells with Leicester, Birmingham, Brighton and Derby, and he is now in his late 20s. I think it also mentioned that Zenit St. Petersburg are interested in him. Andres Pereira, he could end up staying at the club, but I think Man United need to offload him. Chris Smalling, we're obviously looking to offload him. We're looking to offload Rojo and Phil Jones. Diego Dalot, we're also looking to get rid of him because, quite frankly, he's not good enough to represent Manchester United. Sergio Romero, he's open to leaving the football club. He's now third choice goalkeeper. Romero's not going to want to stay at Manchester United as third choice goalkeeper, is he? Because he's now third choice because Dean Henderson recently returned. Daniel James, I think, he's going to be leaving Manchester United. Leeds United are obviously making a second approach to get him. Leeds are reportedly preparing to put around the £12 million bidding with add-ons included. But I think I heard that Leeds want to try and get him on loan with them the obligation to make the deal permanent at the end of the season. And especially, if we are to sign a new winger, then Daniel James obviously won't get into the team. Back in January 2019, Leeds United came very, very close to getting Daniel James. Everything was agreed, I think, but right at the last minute, Swansea had pulled out of the deal. But, we got him last summer, Daniel James, in a deal worth £18 million. For the vast majority of last season, Daniel James played a lot of games, and from my own perception, I thought Solskjaer overplayed him. But towards the end of last season, Daniel James didn't really get his opportunities, did he? So, yeah. But Solskjaer, don't forget, was saying prior to the game against Crystal Palace that we have got a lot of confidence going on into this season, from where we left off last season. Because to be fair, last season Solskjaer exceeded most of his expectations, didn't he? Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League, We also finished third. I think that's the second highest we've finished since Ferguson's retirement. And we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, we got to the Europa League semi-final, and we got to the EFL Cup semi-final. I'm hopeful this season that Manchester United can win some silverware, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. And I said that, that probably will be one of our expectations this season. Obviously, if we are to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who should Manchester United bring in to replace him? Now, probably the favourite would be Mauricio Pochettino. Don't forget, Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year. There was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming into the football club at one point. Zinedine Zidane, there was obviously talks about him coming to Manchester United a while back. But if we are to sack Solskjaer, then I think Man United, with the club of our size, need to recommend a manager in with a proven pedigree, such as a Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola, for prime example. I know they won't come to Man United, but that's what type of calibre manager that Manchester United would need. But we need to stick with Solskjaer for the present time. Like I said, when Solskjaer first came into the football club, he was inheriting a squad that was worth £700 million, obviously before he made signings at the club. Because Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players even from the Jose Mourinho era, still a few players even from the Van Gaal era, still one player from the Moyes era, and still a few players even from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Like I've said, Solskjaer is inheriting deadwood. To be fair to Solskjaer, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Manchester United. So, yeah. But I always said he needed another season because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. Now, we've got good players at Manchester United, and there's a lot of players, that Manchester United will keep. Obviously, Anthony Martial is a very, very good player for us. He weren't so good against Crystal Palace, but I thought last season he was very, very good, Anthony Martial. I thought he did very, very well in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We paid £36 million for Anthony Martial from Monaco back in 2015, so Martial's enjoyed like 5 years at the club. We know that Martial plays in that number 9 role, doesn't he? He looks very, very effective in that central position, even though it isn't his predominant position. I've also got to say we'll keep Rashford, because I think Rashford is the foreseeable future for Man United. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's been at the club around 15 years now, because Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016, and since then has become an integral part of our team. He just recently recovered from an ankle injury. Rashford did have a back injury for us last season, and he was out for a few months. We know now he plays on that left-hand side. Mason Greenwood, I've been very impressed with him under the Solskjaer era. Brandon Williams really, really impressed me last season. Obviously, he's not our first choice left back. He's our backup left back, is Brandon Williams. Not so long ago, Brandon Williams signed a 4-year contract with Manchester United, and we recently give him the number 33 shirt. I think he's the first player to wear the number 33 since Paddy McNair. I've also got to say we'll keep Fred, because I think he's also improved under Solskjaer. Fred's found game time very difficult, hasn't he, since he arrived with Bruno Fernandes in that. A few weeks ago, there was rumours about him possibly leaving the club. Obviously, Galatasaray were interested in him. Also, too, Roma were interested in him. But Fred's already confirmed he wants to stay at the club, and he wants to be an essential player and win trophies for the club. Fred's been at the club a couple of years now. We did get him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We got him from Shakhtar Donetsk for £52 million. Scott McTominay, he weren't so good against Palace. I'll put that into the equation. He had some good games last season, did McTominay, but I still probably think he's a foreseeable future for Man United. We recently gave him a new role. He is now our first choice holding midfielder. And he recently committed his future at the club anyway. Once so long ago, he signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. Was it like a month or two back? Signed this 5-year deal. Nemanja Matic, I've also got to say he's really, really improved as a Man United player and we'll keep him for at least another season. Matic has endured 3 years at the football club. You know, we paid £40 million for him from Chelsea back in 2017. Definitely Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United for this season. Let's see how he performs this season. Now, Paul Pogba wasn't so good against Crystal Palace. Like I said, he had a few good chances from outside the box. But I thought he was dispossessed far too many times. Don't forget, you know, Paul Pogba just recently recovered from coronavirus. Now, towards the end of last season, I was very, very impressed with Paul Pogba because I thought his combination with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield was very, very good. But for the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because he had that ankle injury. Pogba has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. This season is his 5th season at the football club since rejoining from Juventus back in 2016. We paid £89 million for Pogba, so as it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing. He's got just under a year left on his current contract at the moment, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But I think we need to get Pogba a new long-term contract at the club anyway to end the uncertainty over his future. Because let's be honest, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Definitely, you know, Bruno Fernandes will keep him. We obviously brought Bruno Fernandes in January from Sporting Lisbon. I think we got him in a deal worth £55 million. Bruno Fernandes has won Premier League Player of the Month 3 times, reflecting on his good performances. He must have like 13 goals in all competitions since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon. He weren't that good against Crystal Palace, but still a very, very essential player. And he's definitely made a difference in the team since he came in, Bruno Fernandes. So definitely, yeah, we'll keep him. I think Juan Mata, he will stay at the football club for at least another season. I know Juan Mata now doesn't get a lot of chances at Manchester United. But when he does, he still makes an impact. You know, Mata's now in his early 30s. You know, Mata's had a good career at Man United. You know, he's enjoyed like 6 years at the club. Is this now his 7th season? We got him from Chelsea for just under £40 million back in 2014, Juan Mata. Luke Shaw, he will definitely stay at the football club. I think Luke Shaw's improved as a Man United. I think he's improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I really, really do. He's just got to improve his fitness, Luke Shaw, because he is injury prone. Luke Shaw's just recently recovered from an ankle injury and he was injured at the first part of last season. You know, Shaw's enjoyed a good now 6 years at the football club. I think we'll keep Victor Lindelof for at least another season. But if he doesn't improve, then, you know, possibly could leave the club. There's a few Manchester United fans saying that I should leave now because he isn't good enough. And we need someone on Harry Maguire's level. So we need another centre-half. But we have got around 7 centre-halves in the team. You know, Victor Lindelof's enjoyed like 3 years at Manchester United. You know, we did get him from Benfica back in 2017 for like, was it £30 million? But to be fair to Lindelof, he did have some good games last season, but he also had a lot of bad games. The game against Palace recently, that's probably Victor Lindelof's worst performance in a Manchester United shirt. I've got to be honest, it really, really was. Obviously, Victor Lindelof was the one that gave the penalty away for the handball. He was definitely accountable for the first goal. And he was also caught out of position for Crystal Palace's 3rd goal, was Victor Lindelof. Eric Bay, I think he'll stay for at least another season. Eric Bay is obviously one of our backup centre-halves. But my element of concern about Eric Bay is that he is injury prone. Tuanzebe, I think he'll probably stay at the football club. Obviously, Tuanzebe is out though with injury at the moment. And Wan-Bissaka, he's definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. And Wan-Bissaka's just got to improve his attacking intent because that's what he's lacking at the moment. But Wan-Bissaka's defensive contributions always been very, very good. But I think he can be our right back for probably the next 9 to 10 years. And Wan-Bissaka. David De Gea, he'll stay at the football club for at least another season. I think he will remain Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper this season. Well, at least for the first part of this season. If it's not all for this season, that David De Gea did recently start our game against Crystal Palace. Did make some good saves and that, to be fair. This is David De Gea's 10th season now at Manchester United. It is. But I did say, didn't I, I think Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as #1 now because I think Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our #1 goalkeeper because he has got that experience behind him because he recently endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And Dean Henderson's been at United since the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. Yes, he has. Odion Ighalo, we know that he's staying at Manchester United until January 2021 because just after lockdown we extended his loan. So there's a lot of players, that we will keep. Harry Maguire, he's another player that we'll keep. Solskjaer's obviously, said that Harry Maguire will remain Manchester United captain this season. And there's still aspects of his game that they've got to improve. Obviously, Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. And the second most expensive signing at the club. Now, Manchester United do play Luton Town tonight in the Carabao Cup 3rd round at Kenilworth Road. This is a game, obviously, Manchester United should be winning. Like I said, Solskjaer will be making quite a lot of changes from our 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace recently. I presume that Dean Henderson will be starting in goal, like I mentioned on my preview and that, so he will be making his debut for the club. I expect Wan-Bissaka to come in at right back because he didn't play any part in the Crystal Palace game. I don't know why, actually. Did Solskjaer give a reason why he didn't start Wan-Bissaka? We have got a few options at right back who we could go with. Instead of Wan-Bissaka, we've got, obviously, Delors. He's one option, but we won't go with him. Fosu-Mensah, he's another option. He started against Crystal Palace, but I think we'll go with Bissaka. I think Bailly will start. He'll come into the team ahead of Vitz Lindelof. Lindelof will be dropped. Maguire will keep his place in the team. Williams will come in at left back for Luke Shaw. I think Fred and Matic will play as the 2 holding midfielders. Maybe even McTominay could even keep his place in the team because he recently played against Palace. I think Donny van de Beek will play because I think Donny van de Beek's had a good start to his Man United career. Did well in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season and also did very, very well against Crystal Palace. Came off the bench and scored on his Premier League debut. I don't understand why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually didn't start Donny van de Beek in that one. But I think Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes will be rested for this game tonight against Luton. Yeah, they will. I think James will start the game. I think Greenwood will start the game because Greenwood didn't start against Palace, but he came on. And I think Odion Ighalo will play up front. And I think Rashford will be rested. I think Anthony Martial will be rested. There's actually 3 players that as well that could actually make their debuts tonight against Luton Town. We've got that Tiedemann Menge. Obviously, he's already made his debut for the club, but, he could be involved in the game. Hannibal Mejbri, didn't he recently as well get promoted into the senior squad? But this game tonight is going to be the 40th meeting between Manchester United and Luton and the first since a league fixture in 1992. Luton are currently in the Championship at the moment. And Luton beat Reading in the previous round 1-0 and they beat Norwich in the first round by 3-1. Luton dropped out of the First Division in 2009, didn't they? And Luton did win the League Cup back in 1988. But I'm really, really looking forward to the game. Obviously, we haven't won the Carabao Cup since 2017. So last time we won it was under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, we won it on four occasions under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So we have won the League Cup 5 times. We did go out of the third round of the Carabao Cup back in 2018 to Derby, didn't we? Lose like 9-8 on penalties. Luton Town, they've obviously got a few injuries, like I mentioned on my preview. They've obviously got Dan Potts out, they've got Brandon Galloway out, they've got, I think, O'Kane out. But the players that are going to be, I think, involved for Luton are the likes of Ryan Tunnicliffe, former Man United player, Jordan Clark, Danny Hilton, Andrew Shinier. He's also going to be involved for Luton. Their current manager is Nathan Jones. But, this is a game Manchester United should be winning. And our next league game is Brighton on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. And that, But like I say, give Solskjaer more time, see what he can do. He's our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. We have sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. In the last 7 years, we have spent close to the £1 billion range on players. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. And by the way, the news on Alex Telles.